insight, this is from our survey, we asked a question, right? To what extent do you agree with this statement? Hybrid cloud is critical to digital transformation. So really trying to get, those 2 points out there. And, what the industry survey revealed was that it's very strong. It's very overwhelming in that, 94% agree that hybrid cloud, right? This combination of, managing workloads on premise in public cloud environments, whether you're migrating on to off premise or vice versa, is actually important to digital transformation, however you define it, whether that's speed, whether it's better competition, whether that's growing revenue. So, Matt, maybe I'll pass it over to you. This is what the data is showing. What are you hearing about this kind of hybrid cloud and digital transformation equation?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised, first of all, to see this level of unanimity around this. I mean, 94% agree. I mean, what actually makes me wonder is I want to track down this 1% that said strongly disagree. So I want, maybe they're doing something no one else understands. So we might want to tap into that. But it seems like the consensus is, now digital transformation is such an odd term. I guess it gets thrown around a lot. Mm-hmm. The notion of, I guess the term was coined around 2012. Before that, everyone was talking about digitization. You think, the web launches in the mid-90s and stuff like that. Right. This idea of using digital technologies to transform how we work has been going on for a long time. And depending on how you look at it, it could be 30 years since we've been doing it. So I feel like we're seeing now, what this shows to me is, first of all, there's a kind of maturity here around the notion of digital transformation. And there's an absolute consensus that if you want to have a totally digitally enabled business, I mean, I think of very popular business like Netflix, which is doing multiple software releases a day across all and around the entire world. What it would not be possible unless you had just the flexibility and scalability and all the different options of the hybrid cloud. So, like I said, it's right now, cloud strategy needs to be a hybrid strategy, and digital transformation without cloud, first of all, doesn't make any sense. But it's, as we see here, except for this 1%, you can't do it without hybrid cloud.
No, it makes sense. That's interesting, right, Matt? I think you talked about kind of the various, even like digital transformation. That term is kind of going through its own transformation. I remember kind of the old coin, like the digitalization of kind of businesses and economies. But it's pretty clear from here that hybrid cloud is this kind of core enabler to make a successful DX strategy.
Yep.
We asked the next question. This is kind of insight too. And we asked the question, right? In the world of digital transformation that is enabled by hybrid cloud, what are those initiatives that are important to enterprises? And I think what we learned from the survey was, 3 key initiatives rise to the top. And I'll just kind of read this off here and love to get your thoughts. From our survey, right, 42% of these very senior level IT decision makers saying that, when you have a hybrid cloud strategy, the concept of self-service or making IT easier or making IT available to end users is important. That rose to number 1. Number 2 was that in the whole concept of driving hybrid cloud, automation becomes more important. And what's more important is even like making automation better, making automation faster. That becomes important.
Yep.
And then the third thing the senior level IT decision maker said was, as we drive more hybrid cloud, the need to optimize and really get a handle on cloud spend becomes important. So self-service, automation, and cloud spend, those, at least from this survey, seem to rise to the top. I don't know. What do you think, Matt? What sticks out? Anything surprising?
Well, I mean, the first thing is that, far and away, the top priority is this self-service for end users. And I think if we're when we talk about digitization, that makes, obviously, the focus seems to be on even unique processes. Which ones can we get rid of paper was sort of what the first issue was. But now we're reaching the point of where we're, again, even talking about transformation, we're talking about transforming the whole enterprise and how that works. And a key component of that is what the CIO at Skyworks referred to as, digital democratization.
Mm.
And what this really means, and I'm seeing this, I mean, you see it in almost every field. How can we actually get the power of digital technologies into the hands directly of end users
Uh-huh.
in a way, and we'll come back to this, I think, a little bit later in the discussion, in a way that's easy for them to take advantage of. And what I'm talking about here is like, Lear Corporation, which is a big manufacturer of automobile seats. They use robotic product process automation in their plants so they can actually have workers and people at the plant level launching new applications that actually help improve efficiency across their processes and things like that. You don't
Mm.
have to have a dev team somewhere else doing it. You want to give people right in the where who are doing the work the opportunity to take advantage of these things.
Yep.
Similarly, there's a global investment firm, Bearings. The way they've done this, and you can imagine in the investment world, you need to give everyone real access to analytics and be able to
Mm.
create models quickly and share things with clients quickly. So they're using a lot of no code, low code tools, again, to make it easier for business users to actually tap into the power without any intermediaries
Mm.
of the digital technology that we have today. And so it's not surprising to me that this is a top priority, because it's not exactly the last mile. It's the kind of culmination of the digital transformation process, is making
Mm.
sure that all the business users have access to this stuff. What's interesting, I mean, the only other thing I'll note, and again, I know we're going to come back to this a little later in our conversation, is about how critical automation is
Yeah.
to its self-service.
Yeah.
Because the only way you can actually leverage a low code or no code environment is by automating the levels below so that
Yeah.
people don't actually have to tap into it.
Got it.